So here we have a quick ride review. Did a 208k ride, a little fun ride. Average about 3 watts per kilo for just around 7 hours and 7 hours moving time. On the $490 Reed Osprey, it's a $500 road bike. I put my power meter on there so I could check out the wattage. It's a decent bike. It's how did it go doing on? It's pretty comfy. See my cadence there for 200k, it's 93 cadence. This is all you want to focus on really is your weighted average power, weighted power, and cadence, because that's what matters the most. Speed varies a lot because you got wind, you got drafting. Speed means nothing. So that could be 10k an hour, that could be 60k an hour. It wouldn't really mean much. Cadence, power, that's bottom line. Power is what you want. Your average power, and your cadence shows you your pedaling technique. So you're sitting around at least 80 to 100, 90s, around 90. Focus on 90. If in doubt, focus on 90. Where we ride, we did a little loop down to Victor Harbour. Strava's good fun, you can zoom in on that. So we just cruised around. It was a fun ride coast to coast, and then rode back with Adam. Just the two of us rode back from Victor Harbour. It was good stuff. Only got one flat tyre, and a good day. So the elevation up the freeway, a few little hills, but it was good. I literally passed over $1 million. Over $1 million of bicycles on my $500 bike. I remember I passed S-Works Venge, S-Works Roubaix, S-Works Tarmac, Pinot F8s with lightweights. So Colnago C60, a lot of bling. Parley bike, all the bling, every bling bike you can imagine. I passed on my $500 bike, the Reed Osprey. The Osprey was flying. But here's the thing, it doesn't matter what bike you ride. If you want to spend $500 or $15,000, I passed $15,000 bikes on my $500 bike. As long as you're out there having fun, that's the main thing. As long as your bike fits you, that's the main thing. As long as you are pacing yourself properly and learning from it and spinning your little legs, that's the main thing. So just because you're spending $15,000 on a bike doesn't mean you're not going to get passed by the vegan banana boy on his $500 bike. And the good thing about cycling is it's a sport where the rider, the person is really what makes the difference. So as long as you've got a road bike and the gears work and the tyres are pumped up, that's what's the main thing. People say, well, why would I spend $1,500 when I can spend $500? Well, you're getting bike fit. I can get any bike. I know what size I need, what measurements, all that stuff, to the millimeter, roughly here and there. I get my tape measure out to fiddle around with it. And I have that because I've got experience with bike fit for me. All right. So when you get a bike fit from a good shop, then you're getting a bike fit. That's your template now. That's your blueprint. So get a tape measure, measure things up, and it should be sort of second knowledge. What's your seat height from top of your seat to your center of your bottom bracket? For me, it's about 74. So I know whatever bike I get on now, I can get it. And that's the problem I have with buying bikes online is bike fit. So if you're a total noob, I don't really recommend buying a bike from the internet or from a shop that doesn't really understand bike fit. Yeah, it should be right, mate. Let's get on there and go. No, it's better than nothing, but you're better off getting a proper bike fit. So if you're in Adelaide, I recommend a lot of people go to the Giant store, Ashley at the Giant store, or Kim, North Adelaide Cycles. There's a lot of good shops in Adelaide, but these are the two main ones I deal with. Giant, I like Giant. I'm not sponsored by Giant. I like Giant just because they're international brands. So my audience is international. So people in Israel or UK or France or Canada or Canada can get a bike, can get a Giant, or a Trek or whatever. But Giant, just a good value bike, good performance bike, and the specs of them are very good. So that's why I rave on about Giant. But the $500 bike's a fantastic deal. So what I like about the Osprey is it's pretty good performance for the money. I changed the bars, I put my power meter on there, put my preference of saddle on there. Let's see how fast the Osprey flies up Norton Summit. Let's cut the Norton Summit. Alright, so here we are now. I did a little... I got some tyres from the bin. One I got from hard rubbish on the side of the road, and the other one I got from a bin. A Victoria and a Michelin. And I went up Norton Summit. 1338 up Norton Summit. Let's go down, scroll down. That's what I love about Strava. You can get objective. I'm scrolling down, looking for a little segment here. Where are we? Norton Summit. And that's what it's about. It's subjective training. Most people go, what's your average speed? Average speed means nothing. Don't worry about what your fucking average speed means, because it means nothing unless you're on the velodrome track where there's no wind and there's no, you're drafting sort of thing. But it's average speed means nothing. Too many variables. Here we go, Norton Summit. Let's click it on down here. So I did that day, I did 326 watts. Cadence 13:38. 13:38, so pretty decent time. But the power is low. I've got a lot more in me for that time. I could really, on a good day, at least 360 at 66 kilos approximately, 360. So this read has a potential to go under 13 minutes with me. So my best time is 12:57. All right, that's me 13th overall. It's got some good names up here. We've got some fast guys. Damon Howson, Oracle Green Edge, under 23 World Time Trial Champion. Chris Harper, that's a fucking flying time. Gazner, some of these guys are the best road riders in Australia. Tim Hedger, I was there that night, he did that. Great ride. This guy here, Nicola, he rides for Merida Lampre. So you've even got Pro Tour riders up in the top 10 there. Some definitely, Adelaide produces some really good riders. And Sam Tregarth, he's a very good time trialist, probably one of the best in Australia in my opinion. So there we go. Dune rider, top 15. 13:38. So how much difference does the read make? It's not much difference. If you're going to be up there, you're going to be up there. I wouldn't recommend the read for the Tour de France, because the Tour de France, every second counts over 3 weeks. So I think the Osprey is not good enough for the Tour de France, but it would be good enough for 99% of road applications. It would be good enough for the National Road Series, in my opinion. It just needs a power meter on there and your bar preference. But there you go. So that's a little critique there. A $500 bike versus $15,000. You don't really get much difference. You get a few seconds here and there. But you can see Norton Summit, my power when I did the 12:57. Let's have a little look-see. Let's have a little look. What power did I do there? So we've got 326, and it's the same power meter. I took it off my TCR. So we're going to here. So I ate dinner too soon beforehand. I could have gone a bit quicker. So 348. So I really could do 360 with some caffeine and painkillers. Maybe 380. I reckon I could do a 380 with caffeine and painkillers. So this is full natty bra, nothing in the system. So you can see I'm 20 watts less on the read. That is just purely because I just wasn't really pushing hard that evening. So I could definitely go faster on the read than 13:38. So there you go. $500 bike, good enough to fucking fly up Norton Summit and do 200k rides. Will I swap my expensive bikes for the read? No, I won't, but I'll keep the read in the stable. And it's a great little bike just to prove a point. This whole experiment was just to prove a point that it's more the rider than the bike. So if your mates drop you and you've got Sora and they've got Dura-Ace and they drop you, it's not because they've got Dura-Ace, just because they're just fitter, or they get maybe more carbed up or other variables. So I don't think you need Dura-Ace or lightweight carbon wheels or whatever to be up the front. Because if you're going to be up the front, you can be up the front on a fucking $500 bike, as I've proven. All right. So Dura-Ace and lightweight wheels, no worries, no problem having those things. I've got those things. I'm just saying they're not necessary to be up the front. To be up the front is purely fitness.